Welcome to Futro Hood Movie Gems. Today, I am Jordan Christensen, your host.
Today, I'm Jordan Christensen. What are you the other days?
Well, I was going to get right into the movie because I was so excited to talk about Haunt. Oh my gosh, is this movie ever so good. But before I get to that, let's introduce my other co-host.
I mean, it's definitely 6.9. It's definitely 6.9 good. I'll tell you that much for sure.
It's out of what, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say a solid B film, 7 out of 10. And I got my co-host, Nick.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I was supposed to do a quote. Let's see what's under the mask.
Yes. Oh boy, yes, that is right. That was such a great reveal. But before, my quote was, what does he say? He's like lockpicking, and then he breaks it. She's like, I thought you said you could lockpick. And he's like, I'm not Robert freaking De Niro from Heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do like lockers.
Yes. Oh my gosh, do I love this movie. Okay, Nick, so what was it like watching the first time? I'm pretty sure I introduced you to this film.
Yeah, I just watched it for the first time.
Thoughts?
About 2 hours ago. Started it 2 hours ago, actually. And got it playing in the background right now. It was good, man. It was good. I liked it, you know. It was, of course, I knew it was going to be scary and probably a little gruesome. And it wasn't too bad up until that part when that creepy fool
takes a hammer to that guy's face and then rips it off. Yeah.
I just may have said the name in vain on that one. You know?
Yeah, I think that was the most gruesome watching it this time. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of tame deaths. Well, not tame, but I mean, because a lot of people get stabbed. But compared to a lot of the other slasher flicks I've seen, I mean, which is funny, he even mentions the human centipede. He's like, but my other friends didn't show up as the other parts. And he's like, now I look like a freaking moron.
It just has the hands. When he pulls it up, it's just all the hands. It's funny.
It's so great. And then...
Ma'am, we need help, ma'am. She's creepy as crap, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
She ain't helping.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that, I mean, oh, geez, now I'm going to get to a few nitpicks, because when they...
Oh, I got so many of those. I'm going to tell you something.
I know.
And my nitpicks are red flags all the way. I'm like thinking to myself, after I watched this movie, I was like, thank you for making me smart enough to never end up in a situation like these dumb people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, that's so dumb.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, so first time I watched it, it's a Shudder original. I saw a lot of great reviews for it, but I saw the cover and I'm like, it doesn't really look like my thing. I mean, I do love
What do you mean
movies.
It's not your thing?
I know. It is totally my thing, but based on the cover, I thought it was like an indie garbage horror film. And I mean, I do like trashy horror films, but like I didn't know what kind. It just looked like maybe a found footage film. But then when I watched the trailer and then I saw the reviews, it's like, oh my gosh, like I should have watched this forever ago. And goodness gracious, if it isn't a great Shudder original. And because I've subscribed to them, some of their stuff isn't great. So, but this film was very good, and
It's funny that you decided to watch this based on reviews, because it's kind of middle of the ground. I probably wouldn't have watched it unless you said something.
Based on the reviews, it seemed like a kind of that perfect spot. It wasn't like crazy high reviews, but it wasn't like, and nobody was saying anything like, oh, this is absolute garbage. So.
Right, that's true. Maybe a good movie to get blazed up to and watch.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Which is exactly what happened in this situation.
But this is, I feel like, the thing with some horror films is like, I know even this one, they make some dumb decisions, but... Oh, and also I noticed that Eli Roth was producing this, and I love his films. He did like Green Inferno, he did Death Wish. He's done some fun, gory films. I like Cabin in the Woods. I'm a big Eli Roth fan.
Yeah, I also saw his name, and I was like, I don't know who that is, but his name sounds cool, so it might be halfway decent.
Yeah. Well, I knew he didn't direct this, so I wasn't like crazy thrilled, because I've seen some of the stuff he's produced. And some of it was like somewhat decent, not great. I watched like a vampire one, which was okay. And then I watched another one he produced. Oh, it was Aftershock or something like that, about an earthquake. And it had some decent moments. Anyways, back to this film. I absolutely loved it the first time, and I loved it the second and third time that I seen this movie. So...
Dang, it just came out like 2-3 years ago.
Well, yeah, I saw it when it first came out, and then I watched it...
In theaters?
No. It was it's on streaming service. I don't know if it even went to theaters, but...
But you would have saw it in theaters. Like you see everything that comes out in theaters.
Maybe. I went and saw, what's that new Scream movie, and I saw the new
Oh.
Halloween movie in theaters. I did like the new Halloween movie, which is funny because everybody else hated it. So I probably shouldn't be saying that because then everybody else is going to be like, oh, I don't trust this guy at all. But
Well, I'll tell you what, Scream never gets old, so I'll probably watch that and still love it.
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying I didn't
ya?
enjoy it, but there's just times I was kind of rolling my eyes.
Seems like in every movie now, rolling my eyes.
I know. Okay, but all right, two favorite parts, Nick, from this.
I liked that I didn't dislike it. No.
Okay, yeah, I figured you'd at least enjoy it. Like
No,
I
I like the characters, the bad villainous characters.
Yes, great villains.
They're wearing these masks, and then they take
Which
the
are just
masks off.
like mask. I feel like you would buy at like
It's just regular clown
Yeah.
masks. Not even scary. I mean,
Yeah.
creepy, but not quite scary. Like, and then they take their mask off, and they're even worse. The real face.
yes.
I mean, I don't even know what was going on with that one. I mean, not the one with the spikes in the face. I understand that. Like, he just got a lot of
The one that
piercings.
pretends to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, something is up with
that
him.
guy's all jacked up. He's a work in progress. Something like that. He's trying to turn himself into something that looks like a clown without any, but doesn't need makeup. Like, it was terrible. His eyes are all the back. His all face is jacked up. Let's talk about that guy.
You look like Leatherface. Goodness gracious.
He
It was
did,
gross.
and I wouldn't have trusted that fool clown, whatever he is.
Yes,
in
that
the
was my
first
biggest
place.
nitpick. Because they just saw their friend get stabbed by one of them, and then he just like, oh, I need your help. Like he asked another one. What? I did not understand that.
Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, did you need some help? Yes. Let me just go grab something. And he just walks away. And I'm like, okay. Something's up with this guy. He
And
ain't
what happened to
right.
his nail gun? Like he was carrying that nail gun around, all of a sudden it disappeared in the next scene. And then the guy with the what is it, a poker? He like had it and then didn't have it at the end. Did he drop it or something?
Yeah, and what about all those weapons that chick was when she was walking around in that dark room? There's all these big freaking knives and shit. I'm like, why aren't you grabbing any of that?
I know.
There's
It was
all
so
these
frustrating.
perfect weapons you had. They basically just gave you the holy grail of weapons, and you're just waltzing right through. I'm gonna grab that big knife as soon as I saw that. I'm like, they might get me, but I'm getting them too. I'm telling you what, right now.
Okay, and when they're in the tombstones and they're like claustrophobic, and then it opens up at the top and they start dropping real spiders down. Oh my gosh, I was having like a panic attack. That was so good. I just loved that.
But they were fake spiders, though.
Well, some of them were, but not all of them were. If you look closely, some of them were real.
Yeah, well, the one that was first crawling, he was definitely real.
Yeah, that. Ugh. And I didn't know if they were trying to say like it was all in her head, that because the other guy's like, look, they're fake, and he throws a fake one at her. But I mean, yeah, like you said, there's definitely some real ones in there. Even when they first go in, I was kind of hoping somebody was going to get bit by one of those spiders because they kept like showing that. There was another part where they go into the spider webs, and it's like there was the sign that says "Do not enter," and then another one that says "Do enter." Do you remember
Yeah.
when we went to a haunted house, Nick?
I do.
Yeah.
And I remember there being a lot of people, which we'll go back to, because that's why, first off, I wouldn't have walked in this place to begin with.
That's right.
Okay, well, I got to think then the second thing
Oh yeah.
that I really liked was that it wasn't too over the top. Like, if this situation reasonably could happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, what's the other one I'm thinking of? The Collector. He had all these gizmos and gadgets and
yeah.
this whole setup. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But this is just some dumpy warehouse in Illinois, you know, and it's just like all their little things that they do, it just felt more real. It just didn't seem like over the top, you know, like that's never going to happen, you know, ever. I mean, this is like, well, that probably could happen, you know. People are getting crazier. This
yeah.
could be a thing that takes me down. It wouldn't take me down, though.
I know. I just felt that
When I thought about
there's
it.
too many times when they like had weapons, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And then they just magically disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that goes back as far as all horror movies. For some reason, they always lose their weapons, which is so infuriating. But
Yeah. Two things you liked. Of course, you probably have 8, but
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
cover two.
I have quite a few, but I do agree. I love when he takes off the mask and you see their faces. I'm like, oh my gosh, he looks so freaky. Just that first reveal, and I'm so glad they didn't show that in the trailer because that totally would have ruined the suspense of you're like, oh, who are these just people? And I just thought you'd see a normal face, but it turns out he is so much freakier than when he was wearing that mask. And my second thing, I was just so glad that I didn't like hate these kids because in some horror movies I just get so annoyed by them and I'm like waiting for them to die. I mean, I kind of was like expecting them to die at some point, but at least I was like kind of like, oh shoot, please get out of this place because these people are freaky as crap. But
Yeah, they are freaky.
not sure I like cared a ton for them, but maybe a little bit more than your average horror movie. So
Yes. I was rooting for them, man. I was like, they're going to make it. I'm always rooting for them, though, dude. I don't care what they're like in the movie. I'm always rooting for them. You can do it. You know,
Yeah,
everybody's going to die except the one pretty girl. She doesn't die.
I was surprised the jock made it as long as he did. Oh, he
He's a
survived.
nice jock, though.
He lived.
Yeah, well, we think.
Yeah, that's true. We don't
He's
know.
being rushed to the hospital. We don't know. But it looks like he might have got a shot in the chest, maybe hit his lung. Who knows?
Yeah, when he runs at him, I mean, he's got nerves of steel. There's so many times I'm like, how is he not? I mean, I'd been booking for the hills and screaming. I'm like, I would not have run back. There were so many times I'm like, you have a chance to get out of here. Like, do not.
Well, that
turn
guy
around.
shouldn't have been able to use the gun. And what is with that thing? Why do you just injure them and then run away? You had that guy locked
Yes.
down. They had him locked down. Finish him.
Okay,
Finish him.
that goes into the nitpicks. There's so many like times I'm like, just double tap him.
Yeah,
Like,
just take him out. What are you doing? Don't hurt him. He knows this place. You think you're gonna frickin' outrun him? You're gonna escape in their territory that they build? This is a box of death, and you're not taking out the creators. Take them down. But first off, let's go back to the fact of all the red flags. And I get it's a scary movie, fine. But first red flag, they find this, just poster just blowing in the wind. Okay, I get it, whatever. It's Halloween, it's blowing everywhere. Find a poster, extreme house, okay. I would have been thinking, oh, there's gonna be a lot of people there. So then you get there, and there's like 3 cars in the parking lot. And the one chick was like, there's 1 Yelp review. The first thing I'd be doing, I'm like, there's nobody here. This place is either closed, but I see some people up there about to get in with some creepy guy. Okay, whatever. I see 1 review.
that was my other favorite quote. She's like, 1 Yelp review. Oh, but they donate to the Red Cross.
Right. That's good. Okay, so that right there had been a red flag. But guys, this looks lame. Let's get the hop out of here, okay?
Yeah.
Second red flag, they didn't charge anything. They're trying to buy tickets, and the guy just does this little hand thing with the key, and, here's the key, and does this stupid magic. It doesn't charge him, okay? Nothing in life is free, okay? Nothing, not even free is free, okay? You always got to pay for it somehow. And I'm thinking, if they're not taking my cash, they're taking my blood, and they're not getting that, so I'm out, okay? So that would have been turnaround point number 3 for me, okay?
Yeah.
First is the parking lot, second's the no reviews, third is they weren't taking my money. Fourth would have been the phones. You kiss my ass, I'm not giving you my phone. I never give anybody my phone for any reason, okay? Unless it's not unless, just never, okay? Lock it in this box. No, where's everybody else putting all their phones? There was only one box. Okay, and I've been like, something ain't right here. So I've been turnaround point.
Yeah, and why didn't the villains they only microwaved a couple of the phones? Why didn't they microwave all of them? I didn't understand that.
That's another. So there was one left for the dude to get.
I know, that's what I was like. That could be the only explanation.
And he sends a pin to the boyfriend. I don't know if he was expecting that guy to help or if he wanted him to die. I don't know, but didn't do anybody any good. He was worthless. He did nothing. I mean, it's just funny that they put him in there because you're like, oh yeah, he hits her, he deserves to die. And you knew he was going to. But I thought that he would at least do some damage.
I know. I thought he was going to do. He literally showed up and died and nothing else.
Yeah, nothing. I'm like, that was.
I was hoping he'd take out one person or something, or at least he'd run into them and help them out or something. Yeah, he just showed up to die.
So it's reasonable to believe that I would not have gone through that haunted house.
Or it would have been interesting, too, if he had showed up and then started a fight with the other guy and gotten in the way and created a problem for them to escape.
I thought
anything.
Maybe that was anything, but just he dies.
But like you said, like the only reason is because he was a douchebag, so he deserved to die.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
did. But they were building up, like, he threw the pumpkin. He's following her. I'm thinking some dramatic moment. He's got to play some dramatic part, and he played no part
Yeah.
whatsoever, which is okay. Whatever. They ran out of time. Maybe they ran out of money.
Yeah, I guess they, subverted our expectations.
Yeah. I guess.
Oh, sorry. What was the next red flag you said?
Oh no, that was all of them.
Oh, okay,
I just
well-
wouldn't have entered. I mean, obviously there was a lot more on the inside.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have gotten to that point.
Yeah. So there would have been no other problems. Like, yeah, seeing real spiders, I'd be like, all right, peace, I'm out of here. Like, going inside. And then when she was playing, like, the escape room, there's so many times, like, she had her face, like, right at the box. She was standing right next to the door. I'm like, have you not seen Saw 2? When the door, the gun revolver is on a spinning thing, and then it shoots him. And then, especially when you hear the pop goes the weasel, and she's like looking directly at the house. I'm like, what? You don't know what's inside that house. Like, don't just sit there spinning it, looking right at it with your face straight in the box. Like, you don't know what's in it. And then it says something's underneath the bed, and she like goes right up to the bed. And I didn't understand why she like removed the cloth first to see the blood stain. I guess that's just to show us the blood stain.
Maybe.
But,
And what about the guy she was battling out that she poked in the eye? It was like, it's like time froze and he was no longer relevant. Like, he's in there the whole time. You hear him screaming, ah! First, again, finish him off, okay?
I know.
You got the key. He's down. I would have started going for the neck or something, but like, no, brother, you are a freak.
Yeah.
I'm taking you down, and then I'm going to figure out my situation. But she did not do any of that. She unlocks the door. I get it. And then what happens? He like ceases to exist for like a minute, and then you hear him yelling again. I'm like, well, what happened to him?
Okay, and two, why? So when the gun fires and then it like rotates and fires again, I just didn't understand why she was like, I'm like, oh, she's crawling because she doesn't want to get hit. But then she stands up and walks right out and puts her hand out. Like, that's going to stop a shotgun.
Right.
I just didn't understand. It was lucky they ran out of bullets. And then the other funny part was, when the guy got shot and had his brains, like half his head exploded. And then if you look in the room, there's just like a trail of blood. I'm like, what happened to his brains that were just exploded all over the place?
Right.
I guess that cleaned itself up. I don't know.
It did. It's a lot of little nitpicks, a lot of little things.
And it was continuity issues. But, I mean, nonetheless, I still had fun. Like, there was still suspense. Like you said, those villains were so fun. That, like, their faces were so crazy to look at. Like, I just couldn't stop looking at how disturbing they looked. Like, even the witch dude or whatever it was, when they started like slamming the opening on its face, and you saw its like mask crack, and then its face like get in like in what do you call it? It was just like in caves. Like, his face looks so freaky. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
so cool.
It's bad. And when that guy escaped, the guy that went through the tunnel first, what was his face? I don't remember. The chubbier guy. He escapes.
Oh yeah.
And then he, stops. I would have probably just kept going. I've been like,
I
can't go. I'm not going back in there.
Why
so
wasn't he asking? Because the guy said, "Oh, your friend's outside waiting for you." Why
Yeah,
did you say,
he's like, what? Yeah.
"Where's our friend? You said she was fine. Where is
Yeah.
she?" Like, he didn't ask any questions. Instead, he was just standing there.
Yeah, he just let the guy just walk right past him and then go behind him. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Don't let that guy go behind. What are you doing? Okay, I would have been just walking back, making sure that mother is...
Yes, I'd be like, "Stay away from me." Like, and
Yeah.
then if he started coming closer, I'd have been booking it for the hills. I don't think he would have got very far because he probably couldn't outrun him. But
Probably not. But I would have grabbed something, man. It's my first instinct would be...
well, he had the pick, or what is it called? The thing you use for a fireplace, a fire pick.
He had that?
Yeah, he had that earlier. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden,
Oh,
when it
yeah,
cut
that's
away,
right.
and then it
exactly.
cut
He
back
probably
to
just got
him, and
rid
he
of
didn't have it anymore. I was like,
Yeah, I would have obviously held on. I'm like, no, I got something in my hand. And then it's a hammer versus a pick. Okay, I like my odds. The pick is definitely longer, so I can get him before he gets me. But I would have just kept. I'd have just kept going. At that point, it would have been like the only way I'm gonna be able to help these people is by helping myself. Okay, and that's by getting to a main road or something.
and then I love at the end she becomes like this. I don't know. The guy, I guess, I don't know. I enjoyed the ending.
I did enjoy the ending too.
But at the same time, I'm like, would he have just kicked through the door? You don't think he would have come through the back way or anything? Like,
Right. And why did he come at all? She's expecting him now, Like, should have remembered that they all wrote down their address on that waiver form which I would have also not put my real address on there. Dumb kids. What does it matter? Like, what does it matter if you need my? And I'm probably not going into some sketchy place that's requiring a freaking waiver.
Oh, you didn't go to that one with us? I went to one of them where they required a waiver, and I had to sign it, and then they like grabbed us and like threw us into. They put us in these coffins and stuff.
Yeah, well, that was like a good one.
Well, they didn't know this one wasn't a good one.
This whole place screams sketchy. I'm not. Oh, yeah, wow. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is because there's something all over the place. I'm gonna get tetanus. This is why I'm signing this. So I'm either gonna go in there and you're gonna torture me, or I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna get some disease or something from being in here, because this is gross. It's a gross place.
Yeah.
It didn't even look scary. It just looked like an Illinois dumpy warehouse.
Yep. And I liked at first, it felt like a kind of regular, not so scary place. And then as the time went on, it just got more and more gripping. And I thought I could just play it in the background, but I got so into it again. I'm like, just get out of here.
You could tell the things were pretty cheap too as they were going through it. It's just like the basic coffins, the terrible webs. And yeah. I like that it started, like you said, it started out so crappy, because in their minds too, they're just like, hey, this is laughable.
Yeah, and they let their guard
down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good, man. I liked it.
That was a fun one. Yeah. So Nick, would you recommend this movie?
I would recommend it.
Yeah, if you like horror movies and you don't mind gore, I wouldn't say it's like overly, because I'm used to slasher flicks.
It's not overly gory. Yeah, it's not overly gory at all. It's pretty subtle.
Yeah, besides the part where he puts
that part. That's the one part. And I think that was their thing, because they had to do something that stood out. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. I might have been some other slasher flicks, but that was not with a hammer, I don't think. So, oh my goodness. Except in Old Boy, he did. Yeah, I know. In Old Boy, he does stick it in his tooth, and then he like uses a hammer to take out his teeth, which was very disturbing.
Yeah, well, this one he took his whole
face
off like with that. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, so if you're a horror fan, recommend it. I love this movie. I mean, it's not without its obviously flaws, but
lots of flaws. I'm not sure if those were purposeful or what. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Nick, so what have you seen lately, and what are you looking forward to?
What have I seen lately?
Hey, and I started watching more Dexter. I'm almost done, so we can start talking about it hopefully soon.
I watched Ozark. That was good.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I gotta watch Ozark now too. There's so many shows. I'm like so behind.
You're missing out. It's because you spend all your time editing these podcasts.
Hey, yesterday I took a break and I watched some episodes of Dexter, which is getting so good. Oh,
gosh. What episode are you on?
It's gotta be like 3, I think.
Oh my, 3? It literally is gonna take you longer. It took me 10 weeks to watch it because I had watched 1 episode per week. It is now almost officially taking you longer to do that than if they would have just released. You should have just watched them on Sundays. You could have watched your Jesus show and this. Just chalk this up to, it kind of evens itself out,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so
because Dexter's a good guy, so it's technically a good guy show because he's kind of a good guy.
Yeah, and because I've been so separated from it for so many years, it's kind of fun because as I'm watching it, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about, is his name Bautista?
Yeah.
All the different people. Yeah, like all the different people in his life. You got Quinn, and you got the really dirty Asian dude. Like all these characters that I totally forgot about.
I like how they brought the sister back, but in his mind.
Yeah, that was clever.
Yeah. She annoyed me a couple times. I'm like, you just gotta get out of here. Let him think for himself.
I know. There's sometimes she
wouldn't even know it is his own mind. I'd be like, get out of here. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, but I was kind of bummed because I felt like she was, at least in the older series, I thought she was more funny. And I was kind of bummed because I was hoping she would, be a bit more humorous because she would always say like the funniest things.
Episode 3, so you've met Harrison then?
Yeah, I met his son. And they decided to stay there, and then he got high with a bunch of friends. No, he didn't, but the other kids. And did you catch that quote? He's like, "What are you, Mormon?" Because he's like, no, I'm not going to get high with you guys.
But he does.
Oh, and then I love his new friend that he just made friends with. Is it Ezekiel? No. Who's his new friend? He showed him all those art pictures. Dude, his art was dope. He's like, check out these pictures. And then they're like pictures of all those kids that bullied him. And he's like all super violent. And I'm like, oh, shoot, is he a serial killer? I just love that because I used to draw stuff like that to
Yeah, you like him?
my bullies in high school too.
Oh, you're gonna like what comes up soon then.
Oh, snap. Okay, so
Oh, snap.
I used to do that because one kid, like, he would not stop bullying me in one of my classes. So I
Who
drew.
was it?
I don't remember his name, but I drew a picture of him, and I had Jason holding his severed head, and then he stopped bugging me.
Yeah, you saw. He's like, uh-oh. You showed him that?
I did, yeah.
That was a red flag. He was like, I don't want to. Yeah, this kid might shoot me.
Might just show up to school and massacre us all.
Yeah, you probably did it right.
Yeah, I love his character.
I could just see. How did you send that to him? Did you just like tear it out of the page and just give it to him, or did you just like tormenting you?
I just said I drew this of you, and he saw it, and he stopped talking to me. He never bugged me again.
Wow.
Luckily, he gave me back the picture because I'm glad he didn't turn it into my teacher, because I've been sent to the principal's office before for my drawings. My principal's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's just a joke," and he's like, "You know this is considered a threat," and like I'm like, "Oh shoot," and so I got in a lot of trouble for that because I drew.
What do you mean a lot of trouble?
Well, I drew a comic. I drew a comic book. What?
Getting pulled into the principal office is not trouble.
Well, I mean, okay, but I drew. Nick's like, I'm used to that. But no, so I drew a comic strip of the school at the very end exploding because of this kid. Anyways, and
What was exploding?
the school, and
Yeah,
so
you can't do that.
Yeah,
They probably had you on a watch list. They're like, we don't have to watch this guy, man. And he says he's Mormon. This is mixed signals here.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. If you do that now, oh my gosh, they would have buffed you up, dude, with all the stuff that's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've probably been suspended or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it would have been in the care of health services.
Yeah.
Just Ozark, man. I
Oh, that's
watched
right. Oh,
Ozark.
don't be spoiling nothing for me. Just say if
You're
you like it.
missing it.
Are you loving it? Is it as good as the earlier
Oh.
seasons? Because season 1 is amazing.
Season 1 is amazing, but they're all amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
What season of Ozark did you not like?
well, not that I didn't like it. Just by this later season, I'm just starting to feel a little bit like dirty. I'm like, I need a shower.
What do you mean dirty? How?
I don't know. Just his wife
They're all
is
very
turning.
clean people.
His wife
There's
though
no
is turning
bums.
into Satan. She is like evil.
Who is?
His wife, like
Oh.
every episode, like at the very end, my favorite shot is when he's like, he looks over at his wife and he realizes she just killed somebody, and you can
gets
see it in his
worse.
face. He's
It's
like,
worse.
oh, I know she does. Every episode, every season, she gets like darker and darker.
But she's just trying to protect her family.
Yeah, she has a creepy way of going about it. And then, oh yeah, the season 3 when she kills her or gets her brother killed, psychopath.
Well, she had no choice. What are you gonna do?
Nick's like, she had to
He
do
was
it.
causing trouble for the cartel. Cartel wanted him out. It was either him or the family. What are you gonna do? They got themselves in a rough situation for a rough guy. You're gonna love this season. This one's really good, actually.
Okay, cool.
There's some shock and awe moments. I don't want to say some. It's a lot. And you do expect this from Ozark.
Have you finished it yet?
I did finish it.
Dang, holy
Ozark
crap.
is one of those things you spend a Sunday on. See, I should be watching Jesus shows, but I, like the Lord said, rest on Sunday. I do rest on Sunday. I take that very literally, and I watch. That's when I binge. That's how I catch up my Sundays. So I can't take the time out to do anything else. I gotta watch my shows.
Well, good. Hopefully I'll have
Because
Dexter.
everybody's talking about them, and they're at work, and everything is talking. Friends are talking about, did you see it? Yeah, I saw it, man. What?
I know. I'm so afraid people are going to spoil it for me, so I got to get caught up quick.
Dude, Ozark, you gotta watch it when they come out. Dude, you wait too long, and then it's like not hot anymore. The subject's dead. And by the time you watch it, and you're trying to talk to people about it, and they're like, dude, that's old news, bro. You behind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched Making a Murderer like years after it came out, and I was talking to somebody about it, and they're like, that is ancient history.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm like,
old school,
it's
man.
not that old. But
Yeah, no, like, we're on Staircase now.
oh, my gosh.
Which was amazing.
Thanks for tuning in to Future Hood Movie Gems. Peace.
Bye.